in additive manufacturing. Please welcome to the stage, Jürgen Tiedje.
Thank you. Thank you. I think I can still say good morning to everybody. I'm coming from Brussels, European Commission. Yesterday I was still finishing off a 2-day conference presenting our next work program for the next 3 years, worthwhile 1.6 billion euros. Advanced manufacturing is a key asset in this regard. What I intend to do, I've got numerous slides full of figures and pictures. I will take you through the slides, but I think it's important also to give you some key messages where we want to go, because our perspective is not representing a booth, trying to sell, trying to learn. We are coming in from the public interest side. And our interest side is Horizon 2020, which is the biggest research and innovation budget program in the world. And how to link it to advanced manufacturing, how to link it to additive manufacturing. Okay, I'm going to show you a few ingredients to drive you to why do we actually fund projects in advanced manufacturing and in additive manufacturing. Why? It's not about subsidizing companies. There's a certain strategy behind it. There's a certain thought behind it. So we'll take you through the world of key enabling technologies. I will spend a little bit of time on how do we see digital transformation and the relevance to skills. You heard already the previous speaker, Philipp Gertz, about this. NMBP, a nice abbreviation. 1.6 billion euros is behind this abbreviation. I will explain to you why. And then I will take you a bit through the work program 2018-2020, which will be formally announced end of October, where it is for companies, for innovators, for researchers to make bids in large consortia, average projects worthwhile 5 to 6 or 7 million euros. And then I try to narrow down the debate to additive manufacturing, 3D printing. And last but not least, if you come from the public side, you have not to be short-sighted. You have not only to look at what's happening tomorrow, you have to look beyond 2020. Because the Horizon 2020 program will end at the end of 2019, which is in the terms of Brussels and European policy making, let's put it quite bluntly, tomorrow. So let's have a go on this. Importance of EU manufacturing. I'm confronting you here with a few figures with which we are operating. I will not now delve into each and every figure, but you see a large number of enterprises in Europe are concerned. Many jobs are concerned, and I'm talking about jobs in Europe. This is where the public interest perspective is coming in. We would like to keep high-value jobs in Europe. The turnover, the added value of manufacturing. I think manufacturing is also one of its strongest assets. It's the exporting capacity across the world. 80% of the revenues are done to exports. And you are the biggest users of key enabling technologies. How do we see the trends in manufacturing? I think in Europe we are doing well. Where we will pay attention quite a lot to is, can we maintain the top-class quality we have? Because I think there are two emerging challenges. The first challenge is global competition. And the second one, look at your customer base. And I wonder how many of the manufacturers here around have suppliers for the car industry as their customer. How will the car industry perform? How will other customers actually perform? These are two risk factors we have to look at. And actually where the advanced manufacturing has to remain flexible and has also to engage quite a lot into competition. I can, of course, show you lots of diagrams, but I'm limiting myself to show to you where Europe stands. EU value added in the world. You see EU in the middle, the blue line. You see the US not very well developed. But China is the big animal in town. And they have a huge, huge importance. And they will be our future competitor. First downside, we are exporting across the world. China will start exporting as well. Key enabling technologies. So we are not driven by markets. We've tried to structure the debate about key enabling technologies. I will not take you through the whole life cycle of a company here. You may study it at home, but it shows you it's a very systematic approach. And what are the key enabling technologies? We have 6 strategic ones. Nanotechnologies, advanced materials, biotechnology, often left aside here also in advanced manufacturing. A lot is happening, highly relevant also for the chemical sector. We have advanced manufacturing and processing. I'm leading a unit mainly dealing with advanced manufacturing processing. You have also micro and nanoelectronics, and you have photonics. These are CATs, and I'll spare you the details, which the Commission put forward as at the center of its innovation strategy, already in 2009. In 2014, we were adopting the Horizon 2020 instrument, and so we are the driving force for putting lots of money to the world of advanced manufacturing. We are currently reviewing this. Why? Well, think about artificial intelligence. Think about ICT. Are these key enabling technologies, which have been a driver for structuring our funding program, are they still up to date? February, you should expect a major report. Are these still the key enabling technologies, or do we go for a complete new strategy? The challenge of digital transformation. We are working a lot. I'm coming from DG Research and Innovation with our colleagues and DG Connect. They are driving a huge digital agenda. And what matters, in my view, it's not only digitization. What matters for you is the word transformation. And I think I'm still wondering who will not be affected by the digital transformation. I think nobody. Everybody will be affected by digital transformation. And it will have a huge impact on our jobs and how the companies are. We have one aspect where we are a bit worried. How do the small and medium-sized companies take up digitization? I'm a little bit less worried about advanced manufacturing, but if you look at the SME world at large, I think there are big challenges out. You see a little bit the pictures with which we are working. I will not take you through all this in great detail, but it shows you there's lots of systematic thinking actually going on. We are talking, if you come to flexible manufacturing, assembling, you're looking to laser cutting, welding, marking. You have 3D printing, I will come back, at the center. But we focus also on augmented reality, machine vision, human-machine interaction, robotics. We're moving away from a world of safety and robotics, but actually real interaction between human beings and robotics. And artificial intelligence will play a big key. We'll have new research projects coming up in this regard. And of course, you have the customer on both sides. The importance of skills. If you talk to the public interest side, that's for them by far the biggest issue. For various reasons. Yesterday we were attending, we had a big conference. We had a representative from trade unions. And I can tell you, if you don't take the trade unions with you, they will block you. They will just stop you. And the message we were getting from the trade unions on skills was not they want to block. They are very interested in a dialogue with you, and the key message we were taking away was anticipate together with us. when you anticipate together with the trade unions the future skills needs, they will get along because they would like that the jobs stay in Europe. That's one of the biggest challenges of companies, in my view, not high enough on their radar screen. What we will put forward is public funding here. And the public funding is less about developing a skill set. The public funding is about bringing the stakeholders together. Industry, yes. Trade unions, yes. Educational establishment, yes. Because there's a huge gap between educational establishments and the industry. So on the 20th of October, there will be a call called Blueprint for Sectoral Cooperation, focus on additive manufacturing, 4 million euros. It's a bit under the so-called Erasmus Plus program. We are hoping for interesting calls, looking to Philip, looking to my next speaker. I'm pretty sure they're working already on proposals. But the main thrust is, and please take this aware, companies have to engage with other stakeholders in this. If you don't do this, the trade unions at a certain time will stand up. And maybe to give you a little bit of feeling where we see the challenges, and I think my previous speaker were already developing that much more, it is the design phase for the engineering, which will be a whole revolution, but please also do not forget the customers. The customers all of a sudden will be put in a position not to just get a nice product which you have on the shelf. They should be put in a position to design with you together the product. Do the future customers have actually the skills to do it? And this is what I hear quite a lot from companies. It's not only the skill sets of their own employees, what is the skill sets of the employees with the customers? So there's a big, big agenda out, and under Horizon 2020 we have also other research projects. Skills. So there will be public money coming, and the call will be launched on the 20th of October, lasting until February, so people, the community will have 5 months to interact. So this was to make you a little bit of appetite. And I hope that my voice will carry on for the time being. The policy context of NMBP. NMBP, nanotechnology, materials, advanced materials, biotechnology, processing. This is a specific work program under Horizon 2020. The work program we're putting forward is worth 1.6 billion euros. This is a work program which is characterized by 2 main features. First, compared to many other parts of the work program, strong engagement of the industry. 49% is coming from the industry, not research institutes, not universities. Yes. Philip, you make my day.
Good morning.
49%. SMEs, 50% of the industries is coming from SMEs, so there's a high engagement. Where are we bad on the newcomer side? The average rate of newcomers under Horizon 2020 is 52%. Good. We are at 33%. We are not good enough. So I'm looking here at the organizers. If you can help, we want to have more newcomers in the new projects coming up. We are not good enough because you will be not judged about this, but we will be judged whether future public money should go into this program. And on the newcomer front, we are really weak. This work program, and this is a bit not the general myth, but the general policy linked to the President of the Commission. We have policy priorities, jobs, growth, keeping them in Europe. A connected digital single market, big priority. Heads of government meeting in Tallinn in the last week. Climate change policy, circular economy. You all talk about digitization. In my view, it will take 1 or 2 years. We'll talk about the 5th industrial revolution when it comes to meeting climate targets, circular economy, energy union. The challenges are huge. And everybody talks about the cost, and the cost will be too high. Help us, what should we do? This is also relevant for manufacturing. Energy efficiency, raw materials, here you go. Circular economy, industrial symbiosis, here you go. You're in the middle of this. And Europe needs to be a strong global sector. I referred to my previous slide on China, and the US is also not sleeping. Other jurisdictions are not sleeping. We have a research commissioner, Commissioner Moedas, who's driving research via 3 principles. Open science, open innovation, and maybe I can translate open innovation in very simple terms. If you do not want to share information and data, and if you do not want to collaborate with other companies, don't come to Horizon 2020. We are giving you taxpayers' money, and the taxpayer money is there to go for collaborative research, cross-sectoral research, open innovation. Because we think there are more assets in having open innovation than downsides. Open to the world. Research innovation can help you to open up markets because it's a pre-competitive area. We're currently, for instance, working on a cooperation agreement with China on biotechnologies. I spare you the details. Opening many doors, but we can be a door opener for future markets. And Horizon 2020 do it. For instance, there's also lots of context with Iran now. Huge interest in Iran, a huge market coming up in this regard. NMVP, I will not take you through all this nice picture, but the current Horizon 2020 work program on the left side is structured according to 3 pillars. It has an indicative budget of 75 billion euros, so we are the largest research and innovation budget in the world. And industrial leadership, here you are when it comes to advanced manufacturing and additive manufacturing. Industrial leadership is broken down. You see the blue color, leadership in enabling industrial technologies. Then you turn it to the right side where you have ICT, NMVP. I will not ask a question about NMVP. I hope you get it now. And space. And you see the key enabling technologies, the CATS again. I was explaining to you, CATS is for us a driver for devising a strategy. Here they are, here in the middle of the Horizon 2020 program. A few ingredients driving all the projects. I was already mentioning key enabling technologies. Emphasis on research and development and innovation areas with strong industrial dimension and based on industrial needs. What does this mean? We are not focusing on basic research. We are focusing on high technical readiness levels, 5 to 7, pilot lines, demonstrators, test beds. This is our world. So we would like to offer public money on bringing actually basic research to the innovation degree, and from the innovation to ensure a market uptake. We are using the term valley of death in this regard, because what is happening when you think you're ready as an innovator, what happens? I need to take it up, I need a pilot line, I need a demonstrator to run it, I need to reach out to other clients. Who is there to help us? Here we are. That's a key feature of this element. Involvement of industrial participants and SMEs to maximize expected impact. As I've said, we have a very high industry involvement. We are organizing communities with companies, with associations who bring you together. It's an enormous network we are offering. Light projects should be outcome-orientated, should bring close to applications and technologies developed. So it's applied science. It's not basic research. These are the drivers for our topics. One element, and I'm looking forward to our next speaker, who will say a little bit more. We have devised instruments how to engage with the industry. We call it contractual public-private partnerships. What is this? It's a contract between the European Commission and the industry. across Europe. This means the industry devises a strategic roadmap for 7 years. We have a roadmap for 7 years under Horizon 2020. And this strategic roadmap drives also so-called work programs, and the work programs define the topics we want to fund. So we actually ask the industry not where your competitive needs, but where are your long-term perspectives. We ask the industry in a partnership to devise a roadmap. So we're sitting together with the industry in board meetings. The industry is organizing an enormous amount of committees behind platforms. And we ask them, come, we would like to see where you would like to go for the future. So the first element is here, strategic roadmap. The second one, a community, huge engagement. And of course, a predefined budget. We are giving budget to this. And we ensure also openness and participation. Contractual public partnerships is a contract between the Commission and the industry. It's an instrument which we are currently assessing, but we think actually it's a success story. And it offers many SMEs, even if you're not a member of an association, huge opportunities. This to give you an overview what you have. A rich landscape. We have political voices telling us the landscape is too big. You have 2 columns. The contractual public-private partnerships are on the right column. You have factories of the future. Here you are. Advanced manufacturing, additive manufacturing. We have a significant number of topics which are dealt with in these contractual public-private partnerships. You have energy-efficient buildings. You have green vehicles, very much in the spotlight today. You have the future internet, 5G, strategic, we need to move to 5G, the broadband world. Sustainable process industry is CPP, cross-sectoral, very interesting how cross-sectors working together from the chemical sector, steel, aluminium. Robotics, photonics, highly relevant for additive manufacturing. We all know you're using laser, metallics, so photonics is also engaging with this here, and we're working with them. High-performance computing, big data, cybersecurity. On the right side, you find so-called JTIs. These are not partnerships developed by a contract, but it's much more institutionalized. You have a legal person, you have staff. It's a much heavier machine. Given the timing, I can't develop now too much on it, but it shows to you we have a rich landscape of partnership actually with the industry. The work program, which will I present to you, and I will skip this a bit. The work program, which is coming out on the 27th of October, is built on an interim evaluation of previous calls. So it's not a work program where we just carry on and you have wise commission officials who think, jolly good, like Albert Einstein in the morning, I have a good idea. That's a topic. No. It's a much more systematic approach. And what we have done, not only we're looking at the strategic roadmaps, we're also looking at what did we learn actually from interim evaluation of the previous programs. This is the lessons learned. What is new? Fewer topics per year, more budget. I think the budget per topic will increase by 1 million euro, more impact. Open innovation test beds, strengthening the applied science aspect. And we will start with pilots, 50%. And additive manufacturing will be concerned by this. The NMPP calls, I've been giving the main structure because the work program is actually public. Just type in NMPP, Horizon 20 work program, you will find it on Google. Not complicated. What I give you is, we have worked in this program with 3 pillars. Foundations for tomorrow, materials side, open innovation test beds, transforming European industry, key for you on advanced manufacturing, additive manufacturing, industrial sustainability, climate change, circular economy, energy union. And if you want to take a photo, there are the deadlines. Please take the photo. That's where it is really important. For you, it's mainly the photo as regards the single stage call. So you have 5 months, 22nd of February, to submit proposals in a consortium. And the race is opened, and we have had more than 1,000 participants in the last 2 days in Brussels. The agenda is really out, and there's a lot going on now. So if you want to engage, that's the moment to go. A very brief extract. You see the titles of the topics. I can't go through this. But if you see the element of FOF, this indicates to you factories of the future. These are topics which are coming out of a roadmap developed together with factories of the future. So when you read them, look at the strategic perspective given with factories of the future. You see different types of actions, complementary support actions, research and information action, which means we fund 100%, innovation actions, we expect input from the industry, co-funding. I'm coming back to the picture. A few words in the 3 minutes left to me, if you forgive me. Where do we stand on additive manufacturing? I'm coming back to the picture you saw. And what I would like to show to you, and this will be my nearly concluding chapter, where do we see the potential benefits? And let me start with, it's not only benefit for the manufacturing sector. If I speak to the process industry, additive manufacturing is everywhere now. Many sectors speak about this. Talk to the chemical sector. We have one public-private partnership, Spire. They all talk about additive manufacturing. It is coming everywhere. Why? Full customization. So the customer gets involved in the design. Lightweight structures which retain structural strength. Less material, less waste, less energy, less CO2 emissions. Climate change, energy union. And if you want to neglect this, I can tell you the public policy will drive you to hell on this. It will be really tough debates. It's worthwhile investing a lot in this. Reduce time to market. We hear this everywhere. Big advantages. Enables productions on a local basis, strengthening regions. That's where the new jobs will come up. I suppose my slides will be circulated. You see all the advantages. It's a big market. But, by the way, these are worldwide figures. It's not European figures. There's a global competition coming up. To conclude, we have invested lots of money into additive manufacturing. Just to give you a flavor. This shows to you when we started in 2007, long-term process. We are on the job for many, many years. And we have, under the first 3 years, already 70% of the amount spent in previous years to additive manufacturing. Don't tell me it's not a priority. It's a big priority. To conclude, I have not time to explain all the success stories to you. But you see an example. Bioprinting, development of artificial skins. If you type in the name, you find it in Google to get more information what was going on. Bionic aircrafts, aeronautics, future planes which use bionic structures. Also a research project funded by us in the past. 3D printing of houses. The construction sector gets scared, but it's coming. It's coming enormously. I hope that my 30 minutes of presentation have given you an appetite, because all what we are doing will come to an end of 2019. For 2020, we need a successor program. We need a successor program. We need support for this, because now the EU member states need to decide how much money they would like to give. And everybody thinks about Brexit. Here you go. Next year you will have a big debate about the multi-annual financial framework, how much money should be spent by the European Union on the post-Horizon 2020. So we need also a bit of your support and your engagement at home to say we need also enough investment on research innovation, because we will compete with agriculture, security, we will compete with defense, we'll compete with many areas. It will be a mighty debate. If you would like to look into one document, which is a blueprint for the future, Lab Fab App, it's a report, type it in Google, you find it, and you get an insight. Next year, the big debate will take off, but I hope you got a little bit of appetite. Look also to the future and follow this as well. I hope you found this interesting, and again, apologize for my voice. Many thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much, Jürgen. Fascinating. As a gift, a small token
Okay, many thanks.
for your presence here.
Many
Thank you
thanks
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.